We're here with Booker T. Booker T, what's the haps?
Oh man, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
Just enjoying LA. Finding in the sun. The weather's always good here. The scenery is always beautiful, and to be out here for SummerSlam, this is it's huge. It's huge.
You've kind of, especially over the last few years, you've gotten to now do everything there is to do pretty much in wrestling. You spent all that time, wrestling. You got to be commentator. You got to be a general manager. Right now, where are you most comfortable?
I'm most comfortable right now just being an ambassador.
Yeah,
you know.
like this.
Yeah, heck yeah, I love going out and playing golf. Business of course. Going to executive functions. Shaking hands, taking pictures. Just making people happy as far as the memories that they've had for so many years watching me. Now I'm in a position where I'm still able to actually go out there and do it, but I'm in such a great position to help the company from a different perspective as far as going out there and pushing the young guys, going out there promoting the young guys, going out there more importantly just looking forward to letting the business just thrive for many, many years to come, and me being a part of it is the best part right now.
You're still in great shape, and you can still, if they have you work a match, you still look like you're in ring shape. What is it about so many guys that they can't leave while they can still do it?
The rush, that roar of the crowd, that one more pop. That one last run. Wrestlers always think about that. It's really hard. It's addictive, to not have that, to walk away from that limelight. I see so many guys struggle with that, But for myself, I always looked at life as seasons, spring, summer, winter, and fall. And I didn't want to be one of those guys just stuck in spring forever, I want to actually experience a little bit of everything. And that's why, for me, loving this part of my life, actually being where I am now, being able to enjoy the fruits of the labor that I put in, and still, like you say, if they need to bring me off the shelf, I'll be ready to go just in case.
You can still do it. You were one of the very few guys to be a star in WCW, created in WCW, and there until literally the end. What was the biggest change when that company folded and you walked into a WWE locker room?
Well, a whole lot didn't change. I just knew that I was going to have to change my game a little bit.
Yeah.
I knew also that I was going to have to leave all my accolades that I had, gathered in WCW. I was going to have to leave all that stuff behind and start anew. I knew I was going to have to, garner the respect of, that locker room first and foremost. So my thing was I was prepared to go to work. I think that's one of the things that enabled me to last, make it through, weather the storms. I always know that it was going to be a test in front of me, knowing that I wasn't a WWE guy, that I was a WCW guy, and I was going to have to work a little bit harder.
You weren't worried about the fact that you're going to have to now reprove all these things that you've kind of already proven?
No, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew that the contest between WWE and WCW was real, not just from a business standpoint, but from the wrestler standpoint as well. They thought that they had the best wrestlers, and we thought we had the best wrestlers. They had to prove that they had the best wrestlers, and I had to prove that I was worthy of being among those guys. So it was just something I think more importantly I was prepared for more than anything.
So when you win the King of the Ring and you become King Booker, whose idea is it for you to start doing one of the worst British accents of all time?
I like my James Bond accent, man.
That's what it is, too.
No, but it was my idea.
It was.
What I thought when becoming King of the Ring, that whenever anyone ever thought about the King of the Ring ever again for 20 to 50 to 100 years to come, the first king that they would ever think about was King Booker.
Right, because it became this almost obscene thing of, it's not a title anymore, it's not a championship, it's you're actually a king.
I was a king, you know what I mean? It was like I had amnesia and didn't realize that I wasn't a king until I got frustrated, and then my real voice would come out. But no, I mean, I wanted to do something different. All the kings all the King of the Ring winners before me that had won the championship, that won the King of the Ring, they act like themselves.
Yeah.
They never, became king.
They don't even wear the crown half the time.
Exactly. So for me, I wanted to make it something bigger than life. I wanted to make it Camelot. I wanted to make it like Barney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you either loved it or you loved to hate it.
Yeah.
And I really think I did that. I think I really put the King of the Ring back on the map. I really think I put the King of the Ring, being the king, I set the bar so high, the next king going to have to really do something extraordinary to top King Booker.
Was that the funnest point in your career as a performer?
I think it was the most fun time that I was having, but it was the hardest time as well because the work was, I was working countless hours. I was in the ring early in the show, middle of the show. I was the dark match every night. I was doing so much promotional work at that time.
Right.
It was just a grinding moment, but I can honestly say it was the most fun that I ever had, in the wrestling business.
Did you scratch your head when WCW asked you to become GI Bro?
No, actually, that was my idea, because when I first started wrestling, when I first started training, I was GI Bro, and my mentor and my trainer, Scott Casey, I came into school one day, training school, and I had an Army hat on. He goes, "You know what? From now on, you're going to be GI Bro." And I was like, "All right, cool, I'll be GI Bro." And actually, I had a lot of success as GI Bro before I ever became successful. So at that time, I just wanted my mentor to see his creation on worldwide television.
And did you hear from him after that?
Oh, yeah, I talked to him all the time.
He loved it.
Yeah, and he loved it, you know what I mean? So it was an inside joke between him and I only.
Right.
The world never knew that.
When you went down to TNA for a little while, was it disappointing at all, kind of seeing where, okay, because the WWE, you're treated up here, and then in TNA, the awareness of what you're doing kind of becomes so much less?
Well, for me, when I went to TNA, I needed a break. You know what I mean? I needed to detox. I had been running for so long, and I just needed to get away. I just needed to detox. So actually, being in TNA for me was like a vacation.
Gotcha.
I would go to Florida once every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I would be in the same place. I didn't have to go on the road. It was cool for the 2 years that I was there, but I knew 2 years was just about as much as I could take. I knew that I didn't want to finish my career that way, but I just knew that I needed to still be around it. I didn't want to be dormant and be away from the business. So being there actually gave me a chance to, like I say, regroup, get myself back together.
That was almost the transition into what you're doing now.
Yeah, exactly. And when I left TNA, I didn't know if I was coming back here or not. I just knew I had to leave. I just had to get out of there. And then when the opportunity coming back here came, with Tough Enough commentary, I jumped right on it because I always knew that I wanted to finish my career here.
Did you ever hear from the comedian Shucky Ducky about you using Shucky Ducky quack quack all the time on SmackDown?
Man, I never heard from him about that, what I mean? But I was paying homage,
We stumbled on Opie and Anthony. We stumbled upon that. We didn't even know Shucky Ducky existed, and so we go, I can't believe this. And then, like a few months later, somebody's like, "Are they saying Shucky Ducky quack quack on SmackDown now?"
Yeah, he was a huge. I was a huge fan of Shucky Ducky. I went to a few of his shows in Houston before he was ever famous.
Yeah.
I went to the comedy shop in Houston and watched him, and I always loved his shtick, and him being. And my thing was Shucky Ducky had kind of like faded away, and I'm like, man, we need to bring Shucky Ducky back, So, and I just put it out there, and hopefully he liked it as much as I did.
Did you like being a commentator, or is that? It seems like it's a lot of pressure to have to sit there and analyze, these talk about what's going on in the ring for the whole show. You don't get.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pressure cooker. For me, I'm really critical, as far as the wrestling goes. And if I see something, I know I got to try to make it look good. It may not look as good as, I'm trying to make it look, but it's my job to do that.
But your instinct is to say, well, that sucks.
Exactly.
You got to do that better.
Exactly my point, what I mean? So that right there, that's the hard part right there, being able to be out there. That's why I give guys like JR, guys like Michael Cole so much credit because those guys really go out there and they pull it off on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis, and that's something that's really, really hard to do.
At what point in your career did you realize, like, I've done it? Like, what was the point where you were like, okay, I'm proud of this career. Everything after this is just extra.
I think when I went in the Hall of Fame,
Oh, so it was all not until you went into the Hall of Fame did you feel like
not until that night, that I knew I had did it, and that my accomplishments were worthy enough, to be Hall of Fame worthy.
But there was no moment of like, guys, I'm not that old yet. You don't need to be putting me in the Hall of Fame this young.
Actually, when they came to me, I was like, wait a minute, y'all sure y'all want to do this now? Wait, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
I really wasn't ready for it, but it was something that I accepted, wholeheartedly. I felt like, I'm so lucky and so blessed to be among that group of guys, that's in the Hall of Fame who have done so much for the business now. My name is solidified in the business forevermore. I'm, immortalized, in the business, to the end of time, no matter what. No one could ever take that away. So I think that was the moment that I knew that, man, you must have did something pretty good through that 20 years of being in the ring.
Is that a golf ring? That ring is unbelievable.
This ring right here is a great promoter's ring. Actually, he died in 1983. His name was Paul Bosch. And he promoted wrestling in Houston. I never had anyone had a bad word about Paul Bosch. I want to be like Paul Bosch one day. I promote wrestling in Houston now, and I'm just trying to keep his dream alive. And this ring right here just reminds me of how much hard work he put in and how much, hard work I'm going to have to put in as well.
And it probably reminds you how rich you are too. Look at that thing shining.
I mean, this is a nice ring. This ring's over 40 years old.
Wow.
And the sentimental value. Is worth, I think, makes it priceless.
And is that the Hall of Fame ring over
And that is the Hall of Fame ring
that.
right there. I've been thinking about getting a few diamonds put in it.
just to remind yourself how well you did.
But that's the Hall of Fame ring right there. And I'm proud. I'm a really proud person to have finished more than anything. I had a goal when I first started wrestling was, I saw so many of my peers come through the business and didn't make it to the other side due to whatever reasons it may have been. But I wanted to finish. I wanted to start. I wanted to finish. I wanted to get all the way through this thing just so I could look back and let the next guy that come up behind me know exactly what it takes to make it all the way through it and not get caught up.
Before I let you go, I was just thinking, you brought your wife in to wrestling on screen and all this stuff. I mean, she was on screen before, but as part of your character and everything. And that's kind of, a lot of people say that's one of those rules that you never do. You don't bring your wife in, you don't bring your family in. But it seems to have worked out for you.
For me, actually, excuse me. Before I came King of the Ring, it was everybody knew my wife was, former Miss Black America. I used to always call her my queen. We could be in catering and she was my queen, and really the King of the Ring tournament came about from her, and they just wanted to figure out something for me, and so they wanted to figure out how can we bring Booker up to queen status while make him king.
They just liked you walking around calling her queen. Exactly. So what? But what's the secret to keeping that alive?
Being friends, being the best of friends. I think being a partnership, knowing that we need each other to make this thing work out. Both of us knew our roles. I mean, we would be on the road, and she would insist on driving for me because she knew I had been, working on the road that whole week. A lot of women, wouldn't see it that way, and I got into a fight once, and she jumped in.
Like a physical fight.
Yeah, a real physical fight, and she actually jumped in the fight,
Yeah.
When you got a woman that jump in the fight, that's the right one.
Right, you're not going to mess around with her.
Exactly.
Plus, that you've seen her fight.
Yeah,
so if you ever mess around on her, you don't want her to fight you.
Yeah, that's true too. But you always got backup. That right there, that told me a whole lot about my queen. And we've been together now for 12 years, and we got two little ones. Twin babies, a boy and a girl. And it couldn't be better. Our life has literally just played out like a storybook. And we actually so many of the so many of the young wrestlers watch us and want to be like us.
Yeah.
But we just got to let them know it really takes a lot of work to make that work.
All right, well, Booker, you've done it all, man.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you.
All right.